Hi everyone, my name is Abel Grey Cantoma. I'm from GREYTEST CAD Design Concept. This is actually my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or you can call me, okay? These are the list of softwares which we have covered on our YouTube channel. They are very much available on that channel. Go down below the description of this video. You'll find a link to that channel. Visit the channel and actually keep yourself busy, okay? We now teach all of these softwares on our Telegram platform, where we'll give you the software, we'll guide you on how to install it and how to crack it on your system. Okay, we'll train you for 40 days until you attain mastery. Okay, you can call me or you can actually DM me on WhatsApp through this contact. Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to arrange your calculation sheet, how you can convert them to PDF, and where to get them on your system after exporting them. Okay, because a lot of people have been having that challenge. Let's jump right into it. Okay, this is my Protastructure design which I did on Protastructure. Okay, you can see I'm on foundation level. I'll switch this to this. Okay, now you can see these are my slab. Okay, I have stripped these, I have done the analysis, I have done everything, and the modeling, as you can see on my right hand side here. Okay, the modeling is complete. You can see the wall has opening. Okay, you can see the roof beam, the columns, and then the floor beams. Everything is actually very much ready. Okay, so the next thing now is for me to view my calculation sheet. Okay, my calculation report. Okay, now to do that, you can see here we have concrete design, we have our steel design, but here our design which we did is reinforced concrete. So even if I go under any of this, you will just see an empty space, okay, window. Okay, we are going to be going down to our reinforced concrete because our design, our modeling and our analysis, everything we did here is actually a reinforced concrete. So if I click on my column section, here you can see this is the column that was designed. Okay, you can see it has provided for Y16. It is customary to use Y16 in Nigeria. That is why you select your reinforcement to be Y16. I have explained that in my previous training on this YouTube channel. Okay, you can go down below the description. You'll find a link to that channel and actually keep yourself busy. This is a section of the column. Okay, all of these I have explained all of this in my previous tutorials on this YouTube channel. Okay, you can see here we have, this is actually a circular column. You can see the diameter here is showing us 306y16. Okay, so for a circular column you have 6 number. The minimum number of reinforcement is 6. Okay, this is just like a check on how to check. Okay, it can never provide 5. Okay, it cannot provide 3, it cannot provide 7. It has to be more of like an even number. Starts from 4. The minimum number of reinforcement that can be provided in a square column or a rectangular column is 4. The minimum number of reinforcement that can be provided in a circular column is 6. Okay, this is just like a way to check. So just in case the software gives you anything of that, you should know that there is a problem somewhere. Okay, and it is customary to use Y16 in Nigeria. So even if it is the software is giving you Y12, I will even advise you to provide you check on Y16 upward. Don't use Y12 or using Y13, using Y15. Sometimes if you are not careful, once you check on any of those reinforcements, the software will provide that for you in your design. Okay, now you can see here we have our column table, we have our design report. Sometimes here, if you are not careful, if you don't check on all of these, you can see mark all columns. So if it is not marked, even if you go for your design report, it will give you an empty sheet. Okay, so if I click on OK, now it's still loading. If you already like what you're seeing, make sure that you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, subscribe to this channel. Is 100% free. You see a red button down below the screen, okay, the video. Just click on that red button and you have subscribed. It is 100% free. click on the bell icon so as to always get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, so as to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, so this is actually still loading, so we have to wait for this to finish loading. Okay, on our YouTube channel we have covered structural designs, we have covered road designs, we have covered water designs, we have covered mechanical and electrical service drawings, we've covered architectural working drawings, okay, using different softwares like the Start Pro, sorry, not Start Pro, using SketchUp, using Revit Architecture, using Chief Architect. Okay, and then we have covered a very wide range of design. Okay, this is still loading. I don't know why. Still loading. If I try to cancel this, tell me no, don't cancel this. It's actually much, so it's actually going to take a little much of our time. Okay. Not responding. I'm going to cancel this. It's taking too much of my time. Okay, what I will do, I'm going to mark some few ones, okay, because of time. Okay, but you can mark them all. So let me check the design report for this. I wouldn't want that to take much of my time, so that is why I just marked these few ones. Okay, but it's better to them all. Okay, so as you get your design reports for the whole columns on your design. Okay, okay, this is the first one. It's not completed. Okay, I think it's ready. Okay, now this is it. Okay, so you can see PDF, you can see to Office. I always prefer to make this PDF so as for me to, it's easy for you to send this to anybody anywhere around the world, and that person can easily access it on his phone, on any device. Okay, so I prefer to convert this to PDF. Okay, so if I make this export to PDF, so I'm actually going to give it a name. Now you can see, I want you to see the directory. Most times people have issues with where to locate their files after exporting it from Protastructure. So mostly the answer to that question is, once you go to your document, you go to Protadata 2018 if you are using 2018 Protastructure. If you are using 219, you will see 219. If you are using 220, you will see 220. If you are using 221, as it is in that regard. Okay, so the name of the file which I actually use in saving this work in the design of Protastructure is church design. I actually gave it that name, so it's under church design. You go under your report, you go under your export, you see that. So I'm going to name this A in order for me to easily figure that design out. So I'm going to name it A, and then I click on save. Okay, so that is actually going to save as A. Okay, so we have to wait for that to finish loading too as well. Okay, good. Now you can see it has been exported as a PDF file. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and then I'm also going to close this, and I will cancel this, and I click yes. Okay, so I can check for column false listing. Sorry, let me uncheck this. I just don't want this to take much of my time. I can check for the listing. I can come to my column table. Okay, it's loading, is preparing the report. Okay, 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 it's now loading. Okay, now these are the column rebar lists. Okay, so it's giving you all the lists, just like the way we did the other time. I can just make this PDF, give it a name, okay, and then I export. Okay, you understand the directory there. If I come to column analysis here, if I click on OK, okay, so it's going to give me the column analysis for that column which I selected there. Okay, I selected the column there. So it's loading. Good. Now you can see. Okay, good. So if I click on PDF, okay, so for this file I can just come here to my file. Okay, okay, this is church design column capacity PDF. So it is actually on PDF already automatically. So all I need to do is just to close this. It's going to give me this automatically on my Prota data 218. If I go there, I'll be able to find this under my church design. Okay, design reports. Okay, if I go there, I'll be able to find this there. Okay, so if I close this, I'm going to show you all of this in this video if you stay through the end of this video. Okay, so I close. Okay, just this, and then let me go to my design report and I click on OK. So it's actually loading. So it's the same process just like what we did initially. So it's just the same process. You keep repeating the same process. It's actually very easy. So I'm going to be showing you how you can actually locate that file on your system after exporting, and then how to locate your design file too as well after exporting. Okay, so I clicked on OK. It's actually loading that for us. It's actually still loading. It might take a little while. Okay, I think it's done. Okay, good. Now you can see the design report here. It's actually very much ready. You can see telling us 230 by 450 beam, which is what I actually use. You can see the material 20/25 grade, characteristic strength of concrete, my grade of steel, okay, the link grade for the links. So you can see telling us my links spacing. You can see at 300 spacing, okay, 300 y10, okay. So this is actually my report. So all I need to do is just click on PDF. I told you that I prefer making it PDF format. You can leave it to Microsoft file format. Okay, so I'll name this B. Okay, so if I come to, I'm going to show you where to locate that on your system. Okay, good. Now you can see this is it, is in PDF. Okay, so I'll close this and I'm going to close this. So you can check for the beam capacity report. The same thing, there's no difference with what I just did right now. I just want to make this video as brief as possible. If I go to concrete design, if I come to my slab analysis and design, and then I will come to check design, only reselect insufficient steel bars. Okay, if there's any steel bar that is not sufficient, it's going to actually reselect that for us. Or I can check design. Okay, maybe I don't want it to modify the design for me. It can just check the design for me. But let's go with the second option, and then I click on design. It's actually going to design that for us. Already the design is existing, so I just want to show you how you can export your design report. Okay, so it's actually loading. We'll wait for a while for it to finish loading. It's actually still loading. Have to allow that to finish loading. Okay. Okay, good. Now you can see these are my slab design. Okay, so all I need to do right now is just to click on PDF just as before. So if I click on PDF, I'll just give it a name. This is the same repeated step just like what we did before, so I may not go into that right now. I'll close that. And then okay, lastly my columns. Okay, so let me show you for that of column. What I will do, I'll go to story 0. Okay, now coming to story 0, I'll now highlight all of my base. Okay, if I highlight all of it, you can highlight all of this, or you can just select one if you don't want to take much of your time. You can see print pad and pile base reports. Okay, so if I click on that, it's going to give me the report. You can see it's preparing the report. I'm going to check for something. Still loading. This is still loading. Okay. Sorry, I think that didn't work because I minimized it or something. Okay, but this is the part report, so I just highlighted on one. Okay, okay, now you can see for that particular base. Okay, this is the report, so I can just click on PDF and give it a name, just like what we did in the previous examples that I gave you guys. Okay, so I'll go back to my normal stories. I'll come back to my story, but there's no need for that. Let me just come to my document. If I go to documents, I'm going to show you where to find those files which we have actually exported. If you can remember, it's actually on Prota 218. Okay, so let's look for that. Sorry, I have a lot of files here, so yeah, Prota data to 18. So whenever you export any file, even the AutoCAD file that you have converted as a DXF or a DWG file from your Prota detail, to find that, you come to your document and you go to Prota data. Okay, you check for the version of the Protastructure you used, whether 218, 220, or whatever version you use. If you go there and then you come to the name of the file, the software automatically will create a folder for that file by the name you have actually used. Okay, so I named this church design, so I'm going to find everything that has to do with church design will come into this folder. It will arrange everything, and based on that folder which it has created for us, and then you can see everything that has to do with that is here. Then if you come to your report, okay, and then if you come to your export, now you can see I named it A and B. The previous one, if you can remember, I named that A and B. Okay, this is, let me close this. So if you come here, let's try to open this file. For example, I'm going to be explaining something briefly. Let me click my AutoCAD file. I just want to show you guys something. Okay, I think I have explained all of this in my previous training vividly, but I'm going to take you through this again briefly, okay, just to explain some things to us. If you come to your foundation layout, which is what we have here, now you can see I named all of these columns that are identical. I named them column 1, because even in your design report you discover that the software has actually given you the same size of reinforcement, the same spacing of your links. Okay, so everything is actually very much similar, so there's no need for you printing all the reports for all of these columns which you have a similar size of reinforcement. The size of links are actually the same. So printing report for all of this is actually going to take much of your time, it's going to take much of your money. Okay, so you can imagine printing for each of these columns, count the number of columns, and Protastructure will actually give you, based on the ground floor, it will give you a different name for the column, and then the one for your first floor, it gives a different name. So the reports are going to be separated, so the report is actually going to be very much. So I prefer to use the AutoCAD to actually do my detailed drawings, because in AutoCAD I have a full control over my design, my detailed drawings. Okay, I have full control over my detailed drawings, so I prefer to actually use the AutoCAD for that. Okay, so you can see here, instead of Protastructure will actually give you this floor separately, we give you this separately, we give you this separately, we give you this separately. You can imagine calculating for this 1 2 3 4. Okay, so times the number of columns times 4. Okay, so you can imagine that is what actually Protastructure will do that for you that way. And then the detailed drawings too are actually going to be this separate, this separate, this separate, this separate. It's going to separate all of that for you. Okay, so in order to make this much more acceptable in Nigeria, most especially, this is how we actually represent the detailed drawings. Okay, since all of these are actually similar, except for this, you can see the shape of this column is actually different. But then even at that, this and this from our calculation report, everything here, these three are actually similar, so there's no need for us providing a different calculation sheet. We can use one to represent them all. So that is just what I do. So since all are similar, there's no need for you printing everything that your design report is actually giving you. Okay, so so that is just the point I'm trying to make. In essence, the point I'm trying to make here, if you check this whole design, you discover that we may just most likely have maybe just 2 columns that are different, or 3 columns that are actually different from each other. Okay, this column is different from this. Okay, and then we have this also is different. So we basically have 3 different columns, but Protastructure may give this as maybe up to 50 different columns. Okay, because that is how Protastructure may most likely see this, over more than 50. Okay, so that is just how it is. If you love what you're seeing, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon so as to always get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, so as to encourage as many that wants to have a deeper insight. So Protastructure, when you deal with columns, same thing as regards to your base, same thing as regards to your beams. Okay, so you may have similar beams, you may have beams different levels and different that are actually the same, so there's no need for you giving it a different name. I have explained this in my previous tutorial on Protastructure. Okay, so this is detailed drawing for the Protastructure design which I just did. Mostly I use these calculations for I use the calculations, but there is a way you can minimize the number of sheets which you are actually going to print, because if I'm to follow this by Protastructure, the number of sheets you may print most likely can be even over 200. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, so but you can minimize the number of sheets, because most times everything you are printing are just repeated. Okay, you are just repeating more like you are repeating the same thing, okay, all through that sheet of paper that you are actually printing. Okay, make sure that you stay safe, and make sure that you stay blessed. Okay, you can call me or you can DM me on my WhatsApp contact. Down below the description of this video you will find the link to this channel. Make sure you visit the channel and actually keep yourself busy. Okay, make sure that you stay safe, and then make sure that you actually stay blessed.